The Tortoise and the Hare. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there lived many animals of different kinds. Among them were a swift and confident hare named Harvey and a slow but steadfast tortoise named Timothy. Harvey was known throughout the forest for his incredible speed. He often boasted about how he was the fastest animal and ridiculed others for their slower pace, especially Timothy. Timothy, on the other hand, was a creature of few words. He believed in consistency and perseverance, regardless of what others thought of him. One sunny morning, as the animals gathered at the meadow, Harvey was once again bragging about his speed. "I am the fastest runner in the entire forest. No one can beat me," he declared, puffing out his chest. The other animals listened, some in awe, others in silent resentment. It was then that Timothy decided to speak up. "Harvey," he began slowly, "I may not be fast, but I believe I could win a race against you." The meadow fell silent, and then bursts of laughter erupted. Harvey was laughing the loudest. "You? Beat me? In a race?" he scoffed. "That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. All right, Timothy, I'll race you. But when I win, don't say I didn't warn you." The other animals, curious to see this unlikely race, quickly set up a course through the forest. The starting line was marked by a large oak tree, and the finish line was at the edge of the pond, a good distance away. As they lined up at the starting point, Harvey looked at Timothy and smirked. "Ready, Slowpoke?" he teased. Timothy simply nodded, his expression calm and determined. With a loud whistle from the wise old owl, the race began. Harvey took off like a lightning bolt, disappearing down the path in mere seconds. Timothy, true to his nature, began his journey slowly and steadily. He moved with purpose, each step deliberate and unwavering. As Harvey sped through the forest, he couldn't help but laugh at the thought of Timothy trailing far behind. "This is too easy," he thought. "I might as well take a nap and still win." Confident in his abilities, Harvey found a soft patch of grass under a shady tree and decided to rest. He lay down, closed his eyes, and soon fell into a deep sleep. Meanwhile, Timothy continued his steady pace. He plodded along, never once considering stopping or resting. He knew the journey would be long, but he was determined to reach the finish line. Along the way, he encountered various animals who cheered him on. "Keep going, Timothy, you can do it," they encouraged. Their words of support fueled his determination. Hours passed, and the sun began its descent in the sky. Harvey remained asleep, blissfully unaware of the time slipping away. Timothy, on the other hand, was now halfway through the course. He maintained his rhythm, his focus unwavering. As he passed by the napping hare, Timothy glanced over but didn't stop. He knew his only chance of winning was to keep moving forward. The other animals, realizing how much time had passed, began to gather near the finish line. They were eager to see who would emerge victorious. To their amazement, they saw Timothy approaching, his slow and steady pace never faltering. The crowd erupted in cheers and applause, their excitement growing with each step he took. As Timothy neared the finish line, Harvey woke up with a start. He looked around, disoriented, and then remembered the race. "Oh no!" he exclaimed. He sprang to his feet and dashed towards the finish line, his speed a blur. But it was too late. Just as Harvey came into view, Timothy crossed the finish line to a chorus of cheers. Harvey skidded to a halt, panting and wide-eyed. He couldn't believe what had happened. The hare, the fastest animal in the forest, had been beaten by the tortoise. He hung his head in shame as Timothy was surrounded by congratulatory animals. Timothy, ever humble, simply smiled and said, "Thank you, everyone. I just did what I do best, kept moving forward." The wise old owl who had officiated the race stepped forward. "Today we have all learned an important lesson," he said. "Speed is not always the key to success. Perseverance, determination, and consistency are equally, if not more, important." Harvey approached Timothy and extended his paw. "I underestimated you, Timothy. I'm sorry for mocking you," he admitted. "You truly deserve this victory." Timothy shook Harvey's paw warmly. "Thank you, Harvey. We all have our strengths. It's important to respect each other's abilities and never underestimate anyone." From that day on, Harvey changed his ways. He no longer boasted about his speed or ridiculed others. Instead, he encouraged them and learned to appreciate the value of perseverance. The animals in the forest often recounted the tale of Timothy and Harvey, reminding each other that success is not just about being the fastest or the strongest, but about the effort and determination one puts in.